2021 O-Level, Paper 1. Answer the questions number 1 to 5, paying attention to the following case. An educational program on Let's Prevent Dengue was conducted at Dumbara Mahavidyalaya with the human resources of Dumbara Regional Hospital, Dumbara Police Station, and Thrift and Credit Cooperative Society, and the financial sponsorship of Gamuno, the owner of Gamuno Rubber Products business, and his employees. The students, teachers, and parents of Dumbara Mahavidyalaya and Madalanta Vidyalaya participated in that program. Number 1, what is the human need satisfied by the awareness program conducted on Let's Prevent Dengue in the above case? The answer is education. Number 2, an example for an internal environmental factor of Dumbara Mahavidyalaya. Internal means within the organization. So here, Dumbara Mahavidyalaya, inside that, you can get an environmental factor. The answer is the students and teachers of Dumbara Mahavidyalaya. They are internal environmental factors. Number 3, a private sector business organization included in the above case is private sector business organization. You divide into two according to the ownership, private and public sector. Public sector is a government sector. So here the answer is Thrift and Credit Cooperative Society. The word is ending up with the cooperative society. Dumbara Regional Hospital is a drug manufacturing business, a profit business, a service providing business, private sector. It's a service providing business. It's a hospital. Number 5. Select the answer indicated an example for the production factor entrepreneurship of the Gamuno Rubber Products business. Entrepreneurship is entrepreneur is the person who's taking the risk and combining land, labor, and capital together, and he is doing his own business. Answer is Gamuno, the owner of the business. Question number 6. Supun is conducting an electric bulb manufacturing business. A threat to this business is the increasing of demand for solar power bulbs products. Number 7. Ruan produces cane products in his house and sells them by going from door to door. Ruan is a mobile means door to door. He's going door to door. It's a mobile business and a small scale. Retail trade. Number 8. Which of the following is not an economic environmental factor affected to businesses? So interest rate, foreign exchange rate, literacy, and inflation. The answer is literacy. Number 9. Gayan purchased his air ticket and paid using a Bank of Ceylon debit card. To do this transaction, Gayan should have a savings account with a cash balance equivalent to the amount spent in Bank of Ceylon. So even you have a savings account, you can get a debit card, but you can't get a credit card. Credit card is without a bank account in that bank, without maintaining a bank account, you can get a card. That is a credit card. Number 10. A licensed commercial bank operated under a license issued by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka is People's Bank. So it has to be a commercial bank. It can be a private sector or a public sector, but it has to be a commercial bank. Question number 11 and 12 based on the following case. Pial was slightly injured by an accident while he was traveling by a rented trishaw. At the same time, the owner who drove the trishaw informed his insurance company, Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation Limited, about this accident via a short message using his mobile phone. 11th question. According to the above incident, select the answer that shows the first party and the second party and the third party. So the first party is the owner of the trishaw, not Pial. The second party is always a company, insurance company. Here it's Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation Limited. And the third party is the person who went inside, that is Pial. Question number 12. What is the communication medium of the short message used by the owner of the trishaw to inform the accident in the above case belongs to? Electronic written. It is a SMS. 13th. Elements of transportation and the example for them given in the following table. So the way, it has to be airway, roadway or railway, seaway. So here according to this one, establishing a new railway station in Jaffna, opening a fuel station with modern facilities, opening an expressway from Mirigamu to Kurunegala. So the way is opening an expressway, that is a roadway. Mode, what sort of thing that you are using. Launching a luxury train service. Then the power, what sort of thing that you are using, the diesel or solar power or petrol or whatever thing. So the power is fuel station. Terminal is the destination. Railway station is the destination. 14. Evaluating the sales of the year 2021 by the sales manager belongs to blank, function in the management process, and selling goods subject to the 5% discount in 2022 belongs to the blank of the marketing mix. Evaluating the sales means after doing the sales, he's thinking what sort of feedback that is controlling. So he's marking the price 5% with the discount, that is price. Number 15. Ranga invested 250,000 earned by him in ordinary shares of a public limited company. He received 10,000 from the profit earned by that company in the year 2021. After that, he sold all the shares for 350,000. Select the answer that shows the correct terms for the returns Ranga earned from his investment. So here, he invested in ordinary shares and he received 10,000. So out of the total profit of the company, he gets some amount of money. That is called dividends. Again, they say, after that he sold all shares for 350. He purchased everything for 250 and he is now selling it for 350. That is called capital gain. 16. What is a source of investment that does not have a fixed rate of return? Fixed deposits, savings deposits, and treasury bills, they are given a percentage, how much we are paying. But for ordinary shares, it depends according to the profit that the company makes. From 17th onwards, it's accounting. Select the answer including only the accounts recorded according to the double entry principle of decrease debit, increase credit. So here you have to know decrease debit and increase credit will apply only for equity and liabilities. So the answer is capital account, creditors, bank loan, and discount received. So here capital, it's a equity, creditors liability, bank loan liability. Discount received is an income. So income comes under equity. 18th, a non-current asset of a furniture manufacturing business is a non-current asset which you can use in more than 1 year. Carpenter table. 18 to 21, you have to think of the transactions. So here, let's do the impact and then get the answers. A, purchasing a stock of goods of 25,000 in cash. So what will happen? Asset plus 25, asset minus 25. Yeah, I have taken without zeros. B, selling a stock of goods which was purchased at 10,000 for 12,000 on credit. So your stock amount goes down by 10, the debtor amount plus 12. So there's a profit of 2, equity column. Receiving amount of 5,000 from a debtor. Asset plus 5, asset minus 5. Cash plus 5, debtor minus 5. Purchasing a table of 50,000 on credit for the business use. Asset plus 50, liability plus 50. So when you get the vertical addition, you can get the amounts. At the same time, 19th question, from the above transaction, the transaction affected for the equity of the accounting equation, only this. So the transaction is B. After the above transaction, the value of assets of accounting equation of the business increased by 52. Number 21. If the total liabilities of the business was 80,000 before the above transaction, that is opening balance, what is the value of the total liabilities after these transactions? So if there was an opening balance 80, 80 plus 50 is 130. The source document and the prime entry book used to record purchasing a car of 2 million for sale on credit in a used cars buying and selling business. So here the business is buying and selling cars. So they have bought a car. The intention is to resell it, but on credit basis. So here you are not using for your own use. So it's you bought a car. The intention is to resell it on credit. Purchase invoice and purchase journal. '23. A check of 15,000 received from Ravi, a debtor, has been recorded in the debtors in the ledger of the business. When depositing this check in the bank account, the correct double entry. So here a check of 50,000 received from Ravi. The word immediately deposited in the bank, it's not there. That means you have to keep that check with you. So the double entry is cash debit, Ravi credit, that is debtor credit. Now only you're going to deposit. Now what will happen to your cash? Cash credit, bank debit. If the word immediately, a check of 50,000 received from Ravi, a debtor, has been recorded or had been deposited immediately, then the answer should be number 2. Bank money will go up, Ravi's amount will go down. But here they are going to keep it with them and then only deposit in another day or later. 24th. The petty cash interest of the business is 5,000. The balance of the petty cash in the business was 800. The total amount of expenses column brought to the ledger from the petty cash book on the same day, the difference. So the answer is 4,200. The total amount of expenses. What is a transaction that the journal voucher is used as a source document? Journal voucher we are using to record transaction in a prime entry book called general journal. So the answer is obtaining stock of goods of 5,000 for personal use of owner from the business. That is called goods drawings. So that entry you have to put it into the general journal. 26th. Sadhun paid 2,000 for tuition fee of his son Kasun from a check of the business. What is the double entry relevant to the record this transaction? So this business is owned by you. It is totally, when it comes to accounting, we consider as two separate entities. So here Sandun paid 2,000 for tuition fees of his son's Kasun from a check of the business. Though this business owned by Sandun, when he took money from the business, that's called the drawings. From a check. So the answer is drawings debit and bank credit. A reason for that, the balance of the bank account in Amal's business is less than the balance of the bank statement received. So the bank account is made by you, the business, bank statement sent by the bank. So when you check those two, your balance is less. What's the reason? A check of 25,000 to Ruan, the check of 25,000 issued to Ruan was not presented to the bank. So you have written on the credit side, that means your balance is going down, but the bank, nothing has happened because he has not presented that check. 28th. Select the answer that indicates an error that is not relevant revealed from a trial balance. That means when you corrected these errors, in one error, you won't get the word suspense. So the answer is number 4. I'll show you the corrections little bit later. How this answer you have to select. 29th. Paying telephone charges of 9,000 in a business has been debited to telephone charges account as 900. So here when you read the question, read little by little. Paying telephone charges 9,000. Think of the double entry. It's cash credit and telephone charges debit. But instead of 9,000, they have entered 900. So how much more you have to enter? 8,100. So the corrected double entry is telephone charges. They have said only in the telephone charges. That is why the cash is correct. Telephone charges 8,100 debit. So the other entry is suspense credit 8,100. Answer is number 2. Now I'm going to show you how to correct the 28th transactions. Let's go one by one transaction, then we'll see how we are going to correct it. So in one situation, that is a fourth situation, you won't get the word suspense. Purchase of 1,500 in cash. What's the double entry? Purchaser's debit. Cash is credit. So this is a normal double entry. Is recorded only in the cash book. So you have recorded only in the cash. That means cash is correct. So where is the error? In your purchases, you haven't included that amount. So what to do? You have to enter it. Purchases 1,500 debit. The other entry, obviously, it has to be the suspense, credit. So you get the word suspense. Second correction. When paying a creditor, discount received of 500. When you say discount received, there's a double entry. What's a double entry? Creditor debit, discount received is credit because it's an income account. Was not recorded in the discount received account. So the credit amount is they have entered, but here they have not entered. So what you have to do, you have to enter it. Discount received credit 500, suspense debit 500. Number 3. Credit purchases of 55,000. Purchasers debit, creditor credit. The amount is 55, but was credited as 50,000 in the creditor's account. Instead of 55, they have entered 50. So you have to enter another 5,000 to the same side, creditor credit, suspense debit. Purchases is correct. So in all these three situations, you will get the word suspense. That means when you balance your trial balance, it didn't balance. That is why the suspense is there. When it comes to the fourth one, paid insurance charges. When you paid it, it's cash credit, insurance debit. Has been recorded in the cash book correctly, but it was debited to rates account. A different account, but the same side. So what you have to do it? You don't want the rates account, so remove it. Remove means in the same account, you are putting out to the other side. And debit to insurer. So when you corrected this error, there's no suspense. So number 30. The Samagi Sports Club has 100 members and the monthly membership fee is 50 per member. Annual membership fee of 70 members has been received for the year ended 31st/12. The membership fee income to be stated in the income statement. So here the membership fee income is whether they paid it or not, whether you received it or not, you have to take the full income. So that is from the all 100 members. So here you are taking number of members into annual membership fee because this is for the year ended. But here they have given monthly membership fee set multiplied by 12 months. So whether they paid it or not, here they say the 70 people they have paid, but you have to take the income for all 100. The answer is 60,000. 31, 32 based on the information given. Following are expenses to produce 1,000 kg of cakes. In a cake manufacturing business during the month ended 31st/3. 31st question is, what is the prime cost? Prime cost means those costs are directly involved with the production process. So out of the list, wheat flour, without wheat flour, you can't make cakes. Without eggs, you can't make cakes. Eggless cake you can, but here in this, they have given the word eggs. And the wages for cake maker. So the answer is 155,000. 32. What is the selling price of 1 kg of cake if retaining a 10% profit margin? Before getting the selling price, you have to get the cost per kg. For that, you have to get the equation total production cost divided by number of kgs produced. So the total production cost is prime cost plus other overheads. That is other three expenses, 20, 10, and 15. Total production cost is 200,000. They produced 1,000 kg of cake. So the cost per kg is 200. When it comes to selling price equals cost plus profit. So the cost is 200 plus you are adding another 10% to the cost. So altogether your selling price is 220. 33, 34, based on the information, Sulochana's business is conducting in a rented building for 10,000 per month. 80,000 has been paid as building rent for the year ended 31st 12. So here the total rent is rent for the year 12 months into 10,000 rupees, which is 120,000 rupees. 80,000 has been paid. So you have paid only 80. How much more you have to pay? That is called accrued, have to pay. 40,000. So based on this, 33rd question, select the journal entry to the adjustment of building rent of Sulochana. Adjustment is have to pay another 40. What's the double entry? Rent account debit, accrued rent credit. Accrued rent, it's a liability you have to pay. That is why it's a credit entry. 34. Building rent should be included in the statement of financial position of Sulochana's business. Financial position. Statement of financial position, you can record only assets, equity, and liability. So what is the liability here? Accrued building rent of 40,000. 35 to 40 based on the trial balance and additional information. 35th question, the cost of sales of Usa's business. So first you have to know how you have to get this cost of sales. That is opening stock plus purchases. If there's carriage inwards or loading, you have to add it and subtract closing. Opening stock, purchases, and here there is no carriage inwards. So subtract closing stock. The answer is 220,000. 36, the gross profit. How to get the gross profit? Now you already calculated cost of sales. From your sales, you have to subtract cost of sales. 230,000. The net profit. Already got the gross profit. For that, if there are any other income, you have to add it up. Subtract all the expenses. So for this question, you don't want to draw the format and get the answer. If you can do rough work and get the answer, that's more than enough. So here the gross profit is 230. Other income, there is a word called rent received, 3,000, but additional information they have given as third additional information. the rent to be received 2,000. That means another 2,000 to be received. Altogether, your rent income is 5,000. So when you are doing this one, you have to do with adjustments. Then when you go through all expenses under distribution, additional information number 2, 4,000 should be written off as bad debts. That is the only distribution expense you have in the sum. Admin expenses, insurance 7,000, no change. Employee salaries 12,000. You have to categorize each and every expense and see. Under finance expenses, you get the loan interest. To do that one, don't take the bank loan interest given in your sum, the last entry. Look at the 10% bank loan, 100,000. So the bank loan is 100,000. The interest rate is 10%. This is the loan interest for the year. So you are writing under the finance expenses, the amount for the year, 10,000. When you subtract all expenses, your net profit is 202. 38. The amount of total liabilities. So total liabilities are non-current liabilities plus current liabilities. Here the non-current liabilities are bank loan 100,000. Current liabilities, you know, creditors 35,000. Apart from that, here the loan interest for the year is 10,000, but you have paid only 8. Another 2,000 is accrued. Altogether, your value is 137,000. Total asset, again, non-current asset plus current asset. When you go through it, your non-current asset is motor vehicle. Current asset, always remember when it comes to current asset, there's an order. Closing stock, debtors, any receivable, and then bank cash. That is the order. We call it as liquidity basis. So here, closing stock is 80,000. You can get it from the additional information. Debtors, the given amount is 46,000, but they ask us to write off 4,000 as bad debt. Other than that, rent to be received, it's a receivable. 2,000, and there's no bank balance, but the cash balance is given. So the answer is 939,000. Equity of Kusal's business at the end. Equity is opening capital plus net profit minus drawings. Now in this sum, there's no drawing, so the answer is 802.